You can't be lackadaisical with the ball. You can't, because we're going to punish you. If you aren't comfortable in your possession, if your passing is shitty, all year it is shown that we're going to hurt you. And sure enough, man, this defender's lackadaisical. Chawinga just does a little challenge, takes it from her, goes off to the races, and I'm like, okay, what's the plan now, Chawinga? You got like 3 defenders on you. What's the plan? Oh my God, she shot. She takes a shot, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It kind of knuckles. It has a bit of a pace to it. Goalkeeper has to extend to get there, and it's
that might have been one of her best goals of the year, right?
100%, because she does not shoot.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank. If you're thinking about starting a business or know someone who is, check out Emprise Bank's SBA loans. It's always good to know your options, and they can be your partner in possible.
What is happening, party people? Welcome back to another episode of Curly, another pod. It's a victory pod again, because that's how we do it. Money. And I'm Daniel Kooser here with Chris Wright. Chris, let's talk victories, baby. How's it going?
I mean, going well, man. It doesn't get any better than a victory pod.
Woo! And we're a day late, $1 short in your ear holes. We're sorry for that. We can't control things. Chris didn't pay his electric bill. He got shut up. Little power issue over in Lawrence. So I don't know. They need to get that shit together. What a rinky-dink town that is, huh? Sorry, I'm just slinging all the money.
I don't even know how to respond, man. I don't even know what to say to that.
I'm sassy tonight, man. Feeling good.
That's funny.
What, dude? We got a victory to talk about. We got a final home game coming up. We got a new team has entered the chat, has entered the league. So that's fun.
Shouldn't have, but here they are.
Whoo, we'll get into that shit show. So, listen, dude, it's Wednesday. It's weird talking to you halfway through your week.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened over the weekend? Anything?
I mean, we got a home game, right? We solidified that bad boy.
We did, dude. We locked it up before we even had to play. We're like, hey, a victory puts us in to a home playoff game. Or a draw or a loss by North Carolina, right? And that happened before we ever had to play. So, boom. First home playoff game at the new stadium. What a time to be alive. Feeling good.
It's exciting, man. Playoff tickets are out there for people to grab if they want to.
Make sure you get on that facility fee. I'm digging the SeatGeek fee. And how about that credit card processing fee when there's no other way to pay? What a hell of a time.
Oh, I've seen... It's so ridiculous. Like, it's for 2 games, right? Your deposit's for 2 games. Is that right? And then you get credit back.
If you don't get that money back, you get that credit back.
You get the credit
for
back.
Tickets.
I don't think I've ever seen like a $10, and I understand it's for 2 games, but a $10 facility fee. And by the way, if we get credit back, I don't think we get half of a facility fee. I could be wrong. I don't know.
We should get the whole thing back, I would think. You should get half of your total back.
Yeah.
People are upset. I get it. It's a lot of money to be spending. To someone's $35 ticket turned into like a $50. Our $50 ticket turned into like a $65 ticket, right? And it is what it is, man. Money. We can bitch about it all day, but what are we not going to go to the game? We're going to go to the game.
A $5 or $10 facility fee is not a hill I'm going to die on. I mean, I don't use, like, I might die on it, but like, I don't use that much toilet paper. I don't use that much soap. I don't use that much water.
I am not taking poop. Not today.
I don't know how I would use $5 of facility fees, but per game, that's not a hill I'm gonna die on. I'm gonna get my playoff ticket and I'm gonna have a hell of a time.
You know, they got a stadium to pay for here, and we got to help in some way, shape, or form. It's gonna be exciting to be there. Obviously, the atmosphere is gonna be great. Could be cold, could be warm. Have no idea. November is notoriously out of its fucking mind when it comes to weather. So, but we do know that the first playoff game should be, they said between November 8th and 10th. And I think we deduced that it can't be the 9th because that's like a Big 12 soccer tournament game on the 9th. So that tournament's being held at CPKC Stadium. So it's got to be the 8th or the 10th. My guess is on the 8th. I can't imagine it'd be on the 10th, but the 9th is the championship. You're right, Nick. Thank you for chiming in. And the field's going to be wild because up until that point, there will be like 10 more soccer games played on that field from like October 30th through November 9th. That's a lot of games to be played, man. A lot of cleats tearing into things.
Of wear and tear for your very first home playoff game. And that staff is going to have to work on that field. They're going to be busy.
Right. Make sure you tell these college ladies, hey, step lightly. All right. We're not little jog. Don't be sprinting, tearing shit up. All right. It's not yours.
Yeah. Give it the media day treatment. Give them some tennis shoes.
Yeah.
You know,
you leave things the way you found it. All right. That's all I got to say. But I'm excited for this, man, because we're not done yet. We still got 2 games left. Depending on how things shape up, we could still lock down a number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Or number 3. We are guaranteed the 4. So there is that. The 4th is locked up. That's where that home playoff game comes in. But depending on how Washington and Gotham shape up, man, we could jump them. And that's an exciting time.
No, absolutely. I mean, they also this week, aside from our game, the most important one there, Orlando and Gotham play. So I think that's going to be a game that, people will probably have their eyes on the most.
Yeah.
I mean, Orlando lost, right? Like that's that's great news.
I should have led with that. What a time, dude. I never have I ever been on this podcast and questioned Orlando's ability to win a game. Like I didn't think their first loss of the season would come to the Portland Thorns. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, a Thorns team that I believe didn't even have Sophia Smith available for that game.
Mm-hmm.
So Morgan Weaver scored the first goal, and then Sinclair scored the second. But yeah, man, I just love it. I'm glad they didn't set that record any further. Not that that's going to be broken anytime soon. I just don't want them to be like the Patriots, right? Go all the way and be in the championship with that on the line. Yeah,
I know the true undefeated season or something like.
Yeah,
I mean, no one's ever done that in NFL, right? Like, I mean, even the Patriots went undefeated and then lost the Super Bowl.
I think the Dolphins did. Back in the day, I believe so. Nick, you might gotta. Yep.
Oh, 1972. Was that considered NFL? I don't even know when it started. When was like the AFL switch over to the NFL? What year was that shit?
I'm not saying things. I'm hoping Nick chimes in.
69.
Okay.
There it is. Giggity.
I didn't want to look stupid. I was waiting for Nick to answer that one.
Fair enough. Cool. Anyways, yeah, I'm glad they don't get to do that in soccer. So that's very exciting.
They come out pissed off, by the way, and want to take it right to Gotham.
Absolutely. Now, we got to win at home if we want to jump anybody in these standings, right? But it's a real possibility Washington could lose against Chicago. I mean, Chicago's not guaranteed playoffs right now, dude. They're sitting at 32 points. They have not locked that up with Louisville creeping out there at number 9 and Bay right under them at 8. So, possible, bro. Very possible.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild last 2 weeks, man.
I know. Anywho, moving forward from that, nice to know that Louisville couldn't do a damn thing against Washington this past weekend. We talked about it. We're like, Louisville could be hungry, man. They could give Washington a run for their money. Who knows?
Trying to make the playoffs, just fell flat on that one, didn't they?
4-1, Washington Spirit beat them. That's wild. I also didn't see Utah winning 3-0 against Seattle. Quite weird.
Well, I think Chicago and Gotham were tied. I have to double check the score there, but I think Chicago and Gotham were tied. Sorry, I'm taking a look. Yeah, in like the 60th or 70th minute or something like that, and then Gotham put 2 on them, Yeah, Gotham scored in the 86th and the 90th +7. But it was tied up until that point, man.
These are meaningful games here. Just that gets me excited for it. But we got San Diego coming to our place this week, man. I believe it's is it a special what's the theme of this game? Is it like
appreciation is part of
fan appreciation?
Yeah, it's the last game of the season at home.
Isn't it also like heart health or something, like CPR and stuff? I'm not making jokes. I think
probably
the way I word shit is just insensitive and it's not right. I think they're doing like CPR training. So if you want to get out there and get your chest compressions in, for old time's sake, learn to save a life,
Always important, man. And by the way, real quick, did you vote for AD France yet? For the community, Lauren Holiday community?
Why you put me on blast? I'm nothing but honest here, people. I have not.
Don't be like Dan and go vote.
Listen, don't be like Dan and be honest. I'm being very honest. I know when I fucked up, okay? It is. I did not do it. It did not cross my path. I did not see a way to do it. Had I seen a way to do it, I would have jumped on it. So I blame marketing people.
So real quick, by the way, if you want to do it, I double checked. I did it right now. Again.
How do I do it?
You go to kansascitykurt.com.
Again? Hold on. Stop the steal. This man's committing voter fraud. What is this? You just voted again?
I don't know. I didn't intend to. I just, I did it on my phone earlier.
Unbelievable.
And then I'm on the computer here, and I was like, okay, let me just go see if it lets me. And
France wins.
So,
doesn't matter now. France wins.
I'm not a proponent of voter fraud, but, if
where am I going?
Click on it twice. kansascitykurt.com. There's a big banner that says vote now for AD French. You click on it. It gives you a bunch of players, and you click on French, and you are good to go.
Easy.
Literally
done deal.
Takes about 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Not even.
That's all it takes.
Not even. It was so fast, dude. And you know what? I tell you what, I'm doing it a second time. Boom! Absolutely did it.
I really am for voter integrity. I really am. This might be the only time I make an exception here.
Absolutely. But since I have to be better than you, a third time. There it is.
We're going to one-up each other until she has like a 50,000 vote lead. Is that what we're going to do?
All night ahead of us. Hey, let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and recap the game that was. Stay right there.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your number one source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com. I love a great deal just as much as the next guy, but I'm not going to crawl through a bed of hot coals to try to save a few bucks. Saving money should be easy with no hoops and no BS. So when Mint Mobile said it was easy to get wireless plans for just $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan, I called them on it. And it turns out it really is that easy to get wireless plans for $15 a month. The longest part of the process? Telling my old provider that I was ditching them. To get started, just go to mintmobile.com/KCSNNOP for $15 a month, unlimited plans for all 3-month plans. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And if you're worried about your phone number and your contacts, don't worry. With Mint Mobile, you can bring those over, your phone number and all your existing contacts. So find out how easy it is to switch to Mint Mobile and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/KCSNNOP. That's mintmobile.com/KCSNNOP. Cut your wireless bills to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/KCSNNOP. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Listen, last night, I went to the movies, like I do most Tuesday nights. I saw Saturday Night. Have you heard of this movie?
You saw what?
It's called Saturday Night.
No idea.
It's fantastic. It is probably Best Picture nominee. It is the story of the very first Saturday Night Live broadcast. And it is like real time, dude. It's like 90 minutes leading up to the start of the first episode where they go live, and how it almost did not happen, and there were problems, and like executives were like setting them up for failure. It was anxiety inducing. It moved so well. And then once they go live, the movie was over. Like, we don't get to see the show take place. We saw all the shit that happened beforehand. The guy that played Chevy Chase, amazing. Dylan O'Brien played Dan Aykroyd, so good. Very. You probably don't watch SNL at all, do you?
I have not watched that since like the Adam Sandler days or Will Ferrell.
Sure, but you know, 1975. You knew these people, John Belushi.
Yeah,
it was like 7
icons.
comics.
They're icons. Like, changed the game.
Yes, it was wonderful. So highly recommended. Unless you're trying to see that Terrifier 3.
I've not seen the first 2, but it does look pretty good though. I'm not a scary movie guy, but it does look pretty good.
Okay, then don't see it. I mean, it's horrifying. I can't be alone. Like, I watched the first 2 last weekend, and I'm like, I'm all messed up.
You got to be around somebody at all times, right?
Absolutely. I'm checking to make sure doors are locked. It's crazy, dude.
Turn the floodlights on in the yard, the whole thing.
Who are you kidding? I do that all the time anyways. Dude, we went down to Bay FC. It was a 9:00 game down in San Jose, California. And I was feeling good about this because it was one of the first games I get to watch live because I'm not doing any theater stuff right now. So I was home. I was like, boom, I got my snacks. I'm ready to watch my game. I was hoping we'd drop a few more goals on them and not make it as scary, close and everything. But 1-0, man. They get it done. They grinded it out. We're feeling good about it.
And, contrary to popular belief, Chawinga did set the record. I haven't seen much media about it, right? Not a whole lot of emotional stuff. I mean, some, but just not a lot. I mean, if this was Trinity Rodman, right, there'd be billboards up prior, right? There'd be countdowns. There'd be so much media attention if it was Sophia Smith, because it's somebody, in my opinion, because it's somebody in the Kansas City market, because it's a non-U.S. women's national team player, non-American. It just, kind of gets lost in the shuffle. Attacking third, I had a poll, and it's like, what was your favorite moment of the weekend or whatever? And they didn't even list Chawinga's record-breaking goal. Didn't even have it on the list. It was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 other options. Didn't even have it on there. And of course, the responses on their Twitter account were just blasted with Chawinga stuff from, current fans and others. But, I mean, I'm so incredibly impressed with Chawinga by setting this record, by the way. And Ali Trost did a great job mentioning that you could put her on any team and she would absolutely excel. Her skill set translates to any team, in the league or in the world. And because they're talking about who should win MVP, Chawinga or Banda, and it was kind of a back and forth. But I'm just so impressed that she set the record. And it was a banger too, by the way. I know we'll talk about it in a minute, but it was not a tap-in. It was a fucking rocket.
But, what happened, the NWSL did do a post.
Sure.
Website, but let's not get too excited. It wasn't much. It was just kind of saying like, this is what happened. And here's the goal video. And here's Patrick Mahomes and Kristen Press congratulating her. And that was it. So it wasn't a huge, I don't know. I don't know what I want really, but I'll tell you what I do want. I want more still images of Kayla Sharples jumping into people. Like you saw that shit? She was just up there, dude, coming in. Big fan, big Sharples fan. She had what could be like defender of the week situation where, she kicked the ball off the goal line. It was going in 100% a goal, and she clears that. She even posted it on either Twitter or Instagram and was like, gotta be honest with you, my heart was racing.
She looked calm, though. And, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it was like in the 5th minute. I think it was kind of early, right? I remember it was.
Yeah, it was pretty freaking early. First of all, this is our first ever visit there, right? Pretty exciting for us. But we were solid defensively, like all around, man. So that's Schultz' 5th shutout in only her 7th match with us. 5 shutouts in 7 matches.
Not bad.
That's the problem.
Not bad.
But I mean, it freaking, that ball was headed on frame in the 5th minute, like you said, and it was going in, man. And Sharples just darts back there real fast and gets it off the line.
There's so calm. Like she mentioned, her heart was racing, but she calmly just tested it and then kicked it away. That was not, and that was not an easy play by any stretch.
No, it wasn't. I got to tell you, the Sharples was she came from BFC. So this was, playing against her old team, but it's not like she has any loyalty to this team. Like she signed with them as a free agent and then played a few months there. And I think she even scored for them, yeah?
She did, yeah. I think she scored for them on us, if I remember correctly. That's
You're right.
The announcement.
So I think,
yeah.
I saw somewhere, I think it was like 2 goals in 4 games for BFC. And I'm like, Kayla, we need you to score a goal so we can get a new goal scorer added on to our record of 18 different goal scorers.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild that we've had 18 different goal scorers and Chawinga has 19 goals? Which means like 17 other people have at least 1 goal as well. That's weird, man.
It's wild. Absolutely wild.
How do we feel about everyone's play individually? Did you feel, could Dabinia have done more? Could Michelle Cooper have done more? It just, things felt like they weren't clicking in that final third for a while.
Yeah, about the first 10 minutes, I was terrified, by the way, because they had corner after corner. Those things were absolutely dangerous. You had the, Sharples saving it off the line. You had the low, VAR handball review, right? That kind of hit her elbow, that they obviously deemed non-penalty. The first about 15 minutes, man, were just terrifying. Like, Bay FC brought it, and then we were just defending, kind of hunkering down. But you're right, though. It just felt like things really were not clicking all that well. Kind of out the gate.
It was. I wasn't exactly, I wouldn't say I was getting bored or tired. I wanted more urgency from us, I guess. But when you're on the road, I mean, how can you complain about a 1-0 victory? I mean, you really, grinded it out. And things almost got wild. In that Kayla Sharples save, they were checking for a handball on Labata.
Yeah.
And that could have been bad. Nothing. And no, it was no handball. But I was watching that replay and I was like, might have been a handball.
Well, I think it looked like there was a handball on the Bay player right before it. Before it was, kind of clear, and they had that shuffle and it hit Labanta's elbow. I mean, do you think that's a handball? I feel like it could go either way. Like, if I'm a Bay fan, I'm calling it a handball, right? Like, it's
just
how much it really affected the play, but still.
Yeah. Dude, 21st minute, Dabinia has a little run on here. Perfect ball over the top by Delon Cook.
Yes.
Dropped it right in like a freaking sniper, dude. Just came right in. Dabinia takes a couple touches, tries to get it around the keeper, and just misses wide, man. At first, I thought the keeper got a hand on it, but no, it went just wide. But it's a tough angle to score from. Not everyone can curve the ball like that unless you're Claire Hutton. You see that pass go a little?
Oh my God! Like outside the foot, like the current reference that their Twitter handle reference that is sorcery. And that's exactly what it was. That thing had some English on it. Incredible pass.
What do you think about Hawking for the other team being a menace?
That's terrifying. She almost pulled a Chawinga and took it from Cook, right? And almost
right from her.
Yeah. And Cook was just kind of lackadaisical.
Schultz was like, okay, so my defender messed up. I'm still going to block it. But yeah, that was not a veteran move from Cook, man. She was just like, boop, 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 hey, boop, trying to, order her defenders around, tell people to move. And Hawking just takes it and goes off to the races. And there is another Bay FC player to her right who she probably should have passed to for an easy tap in. She's waving her hand like this, like, right here. I'm running with you. You can curve it around, and I'm going to put it in. And when she takes a shot herself, that defender is visibly frustrated. And that could have been a whole new ball game right there, man.
I mean, the XG on this game, according to FBA reference, is 1.3 for the Current and then 0.8 for Bay FC. And when you watch the game, that's fair, right? Like, Bay FC had a couple of chances, most notably that one and then the header off the line. There's another play, too, in Mace later in the game. I know we're skipping ahead, but she was a terror. Mace actually kind of had a shoulder bumper, kind of on the back side of the shoulder, got a yellow.
Yeah.
Right? And they reviewed it for a red. It clearly was not a red. She was not the last offender.
Was it really a shoulder bump, though? Did she not extend her arm?
There might have been a little bit of an extension there.
I was pretty sure there was an extension. And I know arm extensions, and that looked like an arm extension to me. I'm the bad boy of Lawrence over here. Okay,
like Mace, you are not afraid to give a woman a shove.
Hold the
on the field, obviously.
Okay, he just pushes women on the field with sports. It was an accident. We got it.
To be fair, it only happened once, and he did the same thing to me. So it's okay.
One time, dude, look at me. I'm a brick shit house. All right, people are gonna run into me. They're gonna fall down. It just is what it is. It's been the story of my life. All right, I'm sorry. I'm too muscular for you. Listen, Labonta had another through ball.
Yeah,
we're just sending through balls, dude, and nothing comes of this because it's just a poor angle. Like, you're not going to convert from this angle that even Dabinia came from, and it wasn't even not enough heat on it. Labonta noticed it right away. She's like, just not enough.
A couple of defenders there too. Like, there really wasn't much you could have done.
But a great lead by Nichelle Prince. She's kind of putting it in the mix there. Chawinga's coming. So if it gets past the keeper, Chawinga's putting that away.
Right.
I love the effort, dude. And here's the kicker. 35 minutes. You can't be lackadaisical with the ball. You can't, because we're going to punish you. If you aren't comfortable in your possession, if your passing is shitty, all year it is shown that we're going to hurt you. And sure enough, man, this defender's lackadaisical. Chawinga just does a little challenge, takes it from her, goes off to the races, and I'm like, okay, what's the plan now, Chawinga? You got like 3 defenders on you. What's the plan? Oh my God, she shot. She takes a shot, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It kind of knuckles. It has a bit of a pace to it. Goalkeeper has to extend to get there, and it's
that might have been one of her best goals of the year, right?
100%, because she does not shoot from distance. She doesn't need to shoot from distance because she's already burned everybody. So she's one-on-one.
She's around you tapping it in. That's typically what happens.
She's one-on-one with the keeper. To know that she has range like this to take this hit from right by the arc there gets me a little excited. I get choked up. I'm like, you have that in your arsenal? Like, you're not just relying on speed and little tap around the keeper and then tap it in. What a phenomenal way to break the single season goal scoring record. 19 is what it's at. 2 games left. She could absolutely get more goals. No PKs. We're witnessing history here, man. Sam Kerr set this record in 2019?
Well, yeah. You can't say enough things about her. You really can't. You could lay on all the compliments in the world and it wouldn't be enough. And she's done it. And she's done a lot of it herself. Like I said, 0 PKs. A lot of these goals she has scored was her individual effort, pressing a defender, stealing the ball, making it happen. I mean, not everything is a team goal for her. Like, nobody's crossing it and she's just making a little tap in, right? Dude. She is a workhorse, earning every single goal she's getting.
That defender is just doing the old oh shit pull, like trying to pull her back. Oh shit, and Chawinga's like, get off me, fool, get the fuck off, and she just takes the hit. She could have went down and had a foul, like absolutely. The way that she was grabbing on her, that's a foul all day. But she pulls through it all, dude, and just slices it into the net like that.
you brought up a good point, is a lot of players will try to sell contact. Like, sell it, go down. She could have. She is not that player. She is that.
Really?
And I really enjoy that. It's refreshing to see a player who takes a lot of contact, powers through it, and clearly makes something of it.
Yeah. But can we talk about how we were all Vlatko in that moment? This is my best Vlatko. You ready? Here we go. It's just wide-eyed, like, oh my God.
That might be the most like animated I have ever seen him, or a clip of him anyway.
Yes, because that look tells me I don't even think he's seen her shoot from there. Like, the fact that it happened, he's like, okay, girlfriend, we just unlocked a new level with you.
I'm just happy for her. Happy she said it like that too. And like I said, no PKs, man. This is not a Sophia Smith, Alex Morgan situation where out of their goals, 30% of them are PKs. Literally none of them are. None.
This all but locks up the golden boot for Chawinga. I mean, with just 2 games left, yeah?
Yeah, 19-13, so a 6-goal, lead with 2 games left.
I think it's amazing. In the 41st minute, I'm getting to right here where Haley Mace said to Hawking, sit the fuck down. But Mace turned on the Jets here because Hawking was doing her thing again, and she was streaking down the field, dude.
Yep.
And Mace just hits a different level. She goes from jogging to like, okay, I'm getting that ball back, and puts Hawking on her freaking face, dude.
What an effort by her. And that is, she got the yellow, so she will be suspended next game, by the way.
I was nervous about the possibility of a red review. I was like, hold on. Like, I know what the rules are. Was she the last defender? I mean, not really. I think someone else was
quite like linear to her.
Yeah. Yeah. So tough to do. I think it is one of those things that's like tough to overturn.
Yeah.
You made the call. There has to be like in non-disputable evidence here, and didn't really matter.
It was a fair result. Yellow was warranted. Yeah.
And after all of that, it was like a 5-minute review. Like, she was just, I was sitting there on my phone, bro. I was like, we're still in review? Like, what are we doing here? All right, I'll just catch up on the feed. And after all of that, possibly the worst free kick ever, just like nonchalantly kicks it into Schultz's arms. Schultz didn't have to hardly move. Okay, thanks for the ball back. I just knew, oh boy, I bet we're going to get about 12 minutes of stoppage after this freaking half. Isn't that about what? Oh, it was 10 minutes of stoppage time.
Same with that low review as well, for the handball. So
yeah, 100%. I guess I get that, but man, when you're in the 47th minute and you're told that there's 10 minutes left, that's pretty wild. So feeling pretty good. I mean, you're going into the half about 1-0 here. Feeling like you have control of the game, but also you see Bay getting a little creative, man. They're getting some passes in and around your box, and that's not what you want. So that is concerning, but also Bay has been getting better. I think they've only been shut out 5 times this year, so that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking a look at their last 5 games. Gotham beat them like 5-1, but yeah, they got shut out by Orlando, but that was it in the last 5 games. So outside of that 5-1 result, every game has been within one goal. So
yeah,
they clearly have been better as the season went on, especially these last 5 games.
Big time. It's been, took them a while to get into it, but we almost had a freaking second goal right at the beginning of the second half, man. Like that, 30 seconds in, that ball's kicked down there, and Chawinga and Nichelle Prince are down there in the mix, and nothing comes of it. But it was scary. I was like, we getting 2 right now? Okay.
That would have made me feel a little easier about the rest of the game.
I would have felt a little more calm. But Chawinga did not let up, dude. She was still a menace. She was still tracking down every freaking ball. Nichelle Prince took a shot in the 62nd. Not much heat on it or nothing, but Chawinga did well to get this ball and take it from him. and kicks it off to Prince, and goalkeeper got it pretty easily. So I'm thinking, you're about 20 minutes left, man. And you're like, we're running out of time. Well, guess what? You can watch these highlights all day. Not much happened in those 20 minutes. It literally switches from like 65 minutes to the 93rd minute. Because it was pretty just kind of meh, which is fine if you're winning. Go ahead and bore up the game, right?
Yeah, especially away, right? You're on the road. Make it boring, especially if you have the lead in. That was a good strategy. In the 71st, Di Bernardo came on for Hutton.
She did. She had a shot as well in like the 93rd, and it was didn't miss by much. Went right over the crossbar.
And it kind of felt like in the 79th and 80th, we were packing it in, right? We are just playing defense. Ball came.
Oh yeah, going to the corner, kind of wasting time in the corner.
Ball came in for Cooper, clearly bolstering the defense. Izzy came in for Mace, trying to prevent Mace from, getting something later. And then Feist came on for Dabinia in the 87th. And I mean, just from there, man, just kind of felt like we were trying to bunker down, right? Get a road win, muddy up the game, kill some clock, go to the corner. And we did. I mean, it absolutely worked.
Sure did, man. And like we said, thanks to North Carolina and drawing with Angel City earlier that day, we've secured a top 4 finish. But winning would have done the same thing. So home playoff game, man. It's our first ever home playoff match, right? Because even when we made the playoffs that one year, we didn't have any home games. It was all on the road.
Yeah, it was all on the road.
We got into the final.
Yeah, our very first one since coming back to Kansas City.
Hell of a deal. So this will be our first ever home playoff game. And, of course, first ever postseason match at the new stadium. Nothing like having a new stadium and then playoffs there that year. It's been a pretty special year, man. Pretty historic.
And we're hosting the championship, right? Like at the very beginning of the year, the listener asked that question. And I was like, I don't think so. Maybe an all-star, like 11,500. I don't see him. I mean, obviously I was clearly wrong, and I'm grateful for that. But just what a special year, like you said. Take advantage of it. You never know when you'll have this opportunity again.
Oh, for sure. And that's why I wasn't worried too much about a SeatGeek fee, even though I can't go anywhere else to buy the tickets, or a credit card processing fee, even though I can't pay with anything other than a credit card. So I was like, okay, whatever. Am I going to miss this game? No. So, but I like to bitch. It is what it is.
I like to vent to a sympathetic ear,
Absolutely, dude. Then I was about to hit purchase, and I go to my wife, and I'm like, well, what are you thinking about this? And she starts getting a little upset, and she goes, but what, are we not going to go? And I said, we don't have to. She goes, what? Shut up. I was like, okay. I was like, we don't have to go, but no, we're going, man. It's going to be a hell of a time.
Right.
So as you mentioned, Haley Mace is going to miss this next game. That's unfortunate. I feel okay that we have shit locked up. I also feel good that Izzy Rodriguez is a very capable outside back that can split time with Haley Mace. Man, I always feel good about who's in the wings, ready to come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's the great thing is we have depth on the outside, like outside backs. We have more depth than most and better depth than most. So yeah. And you can even flip Ellie Wheeler over there as well. You can kind of move her around if you really want to. So
absolutely,
what a great problem to have for Vlatko. But I mean,
the rest of this season, I have 2 things I want to happen, and it's a goal from 2 different people, Kayla Sharples and Claire Hutton. Absolutely, right? Like I know both are capable of getting it done. Maybe it's possible, maybe it's not. I mean, we have San Diego this weekend, and then we wrap it up on the road against Chicago. Yep. Look at that, good guess. So coming down to the end, man. We do know we got playoff soccer for sure, and winning this weekend could potentially jump us up a place or 2.
Yeah, And taking a look at this game, I mean, I feel like you could go two ways, but I'm gonna ask you, who to give the toast of the match to?
Toast of the match. I mean, dude, like it's been Chawinga after Chawinga, Chawinga after Chawinga, and it's 19 goals, dude. Holiday Distillery toast of the match, Temwa Chawinga. It just makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, you
if it wasn't for her record-setting goal, I probably would have given it to Sharples, right? I think that would have been a good option, but you cannot set the NWSL record with a banger and not win it. So,
agreed.
Well done, Chawinga.
Agreed. So, man, you got quite the stacking here, the way things are going to shape up in the league now. Of course, the Spirit and Gotham are both on 50 points. They're probably rooting for the other one to lose as well. We're sitting right there at 49. And then you got a little bit of a stack, seeds 6 through 8, 32, 31, and 28 points. So interested to see how that stuff shapes out. Looks like North Carolina's pretty much, I think they're solidified into that number 5.
Yeah. I don't think they can. I think they're going to finish at 5 no matter what they do.
Yep. Chicago can't jump them, and they can't jump us, so it is what it is.
They could just rest some of their players if they really wanted to.
True. Yeah, there's no reason for them to get crazy because there's nothing to fight for.
Nothing to fight for. Yep.
You're there.
There's no draft anymore, right? There's no draft. You don't have to worry about draft position.
Exactly. It's exciting, man. I'm just so pumped. Should be a beautiful Saturday for the game this weekend. What should we expect from San Diego, man?
I mean, they just got beat by Houston.
They did at home.
2-0 at home. Landon Donovan is their coach. So, there's something. I mean, there's national team duty coming up too, right? So I think the 25th, I think that's when one of the games are. But
we're taking that weekend is off, I believe. That's when the current play in their Summer Cup championship.
That's right.
Down in San Antonio.
So it makes me wonder if San Diego is going to play Sean Gurma as much, right? Because you have national team duty coming up. I mean, they're technically in the hunt, but kind of not really. They have to, there's 6 points left for any team to grab. If they get 6 points, they're tied with Bay in the 8th spot. So technically it's possible. But, I mean, do you play your national team players for all 90? I mean, they probably will, but, Gurma's going to be a problem. Shaw's going to be a problem. Sanchez is going to be a problem. Sheridan's a really good keeper, but, we're playing at home and they're struggling. They really don't have an identity right now. Alex Morgan's gone. She wasn't really contributing a lot. They just don't have an identity. And they're playing a team, Kansas City, who absolutely does.
This should be a win for us. It should. I mean, the numbers just look good. Attacking wise, we've scored 50 goals to their 20. You know what I mean? It makes sense. Defending wise, we've allowed 29, but they've only allowed 30. So that's kind of up in the air there. Maybe they're better defensively, but I think we just score more goals than them, dude, like we do with every other team. And Chawinga gets a couple and extends that record, and I think it'll be good to go.
What do you want to see out of this game from Kansas City?
No injuries. Everyone stay safe, have fun. Goals from new people, I think, could be neat. People getting into the attack. Give the fans a last send-off, man. That's what it is. It's your last regular season home game. Yeah, you have the playoffs, but it's capping off the regular season. So that's got to be a little exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. Kind of on that note, I would like to see an attack that doesn't solely rely on Chawinga. We had a shot from Lowe and a shot from Dabini that was a decent opportunity. But without that, like, we're just relying on Chawinga to make a run on a counter or burn some defenders or pick off a pass. Like, we're just too reliant on her, and that's not a sustainable way to have an offense. Which kind of goes.
Say that we're winning games. It's tough to it's tough to hate on it.
It's kind of like, it's one of those things that if your luck runs out in that situation where Chawinga there's no opportunity to pick off a pass, or just it doesn't happen for whatever reason. If luck doesn't go our way, then we have to have something else. And Bia is out another 2 to 3 weeks. Her Instagram post scared the shit out of me. I thought she was out for a while, maybe the rest of the year, but then it was reported that was just a 2 to 3 week thing. So presumably, hopefully back for the playoffs.
Yeah, but not back in time for the Summer Cup final.
Yeah,
that's an exciting game, man. I'm excited for that one. I feel that that'll be a big test against Gotham at a neutral site. So next week we'll get to talk about this San Diego game, and then talk about that Gotham game coming. Right, and then so they're off next week. Is that what you said? That's the international break?
Yeah.
Okay. Because then they come back and play their final game November 3rd.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, 24th, 27th, and 30th, I believe, are the USA's games.
Okay. Cool. All right, we're feeling good? Feeling good about this weekend?
I am.
All right.
You still got to execute, but I'm feeling pretty good.
Good. Will you be out there?
Absolutely. Yep. Be right there with you.
Noon game. It's going to be good. Cool. Oh, before we go, we got to throw some shade at the old BOS Nation. What in the world?
That is so bad.
What's happening?
I want to know the focus groups they use to come up with names. I want to know the choices, and I want to know how they voted on this particular name.
I need you to. I love things being different, especially in the soccer landscape. I'm like, cool. Just don't be a something FC or an SC or a United. You know what I mean? Try to be a little unique, and I guess they did. So in that sense,
well, like I think they said it was an anagram for Bostonian, right? Like, so when I first saw that, I thought it was a Bosnian, like an that's how I initially read it. It's just so bad, man. And then, like Quinn was on their Instagram. First of all, their video was bad, right? Their introduction video was horrible.
Was that the no balls video?
Yeah.
That was pretty weird. I hadn't seen that till our friend Chip sent that to me today.
I don't know what the hell. Whatever firm they hired did not do them well. I would ask for a refund on that.
They sat there and just talked about how like there's too many balls in Boston, and I got to tell you, they're talking about testicles like that. That's clearly what they were talking about, right?
Yeah, the whole thing is just a disaster. I mean, they have time to walk it back. They have time to walk it back, and I don't think they are. I think they're just gonna roll with it, and it's I don't know.
Yeah, it's trying to find what. Okay, so Jimmy retweeted this. Our good pal Jimmy. And it said Connaughton? Is that how you say that name?
I think so.
No. Connaughton and her partners arrived at the BOS Nation name after hiring Boston-based design and advertising agency Colossus, brainstorming on their own and asking potential fans to submit their ideas. Settling on a name is also the critical starting point before teams can begin any other branding work that makes a club what it is, such as creating mascots or jersey designs. Connaughton, for much of her career, developed and marketed brands at Procter & Gamble, including the women's shaving line called Venus. BOS Nation's branding, with its black, green, and raspberry color palette, is less overtly feminine, deliberately so, she said. Market research found that 60% of the people who plan to become dedicated fans of the city's NWSL team are male, Connaughton said. Quote, femininity isn't part of who we're trying to appeal to, she said. It's sort of irrelevant in many ways. What the fuck does that mean? And who's talking? Femininity's not what we're appealing. So you're appealing to the dudes with that whole ball thing. Too many balls. I can't, man. I just can't.
I feel like they're trying to be clever, and then they probably thought it would, it'd get a chuckle out of everybody. It'd be kind of viral on how they're trying to introduce this team.
Yeah.
And it absolutely flopped and failed. And the fact that
it went viral.
It went viral. It's not for the right reasons. And then, they're not trying to, really market towards femininity. Gee, I can't speak. Not even going to try to say that again. You get my point. But to not market towards that is for a women's professional team. And they didn't even make a reference to the women's hockey team either.
Yeah.
It is just a poorly done, poorly executed. It's not too late to go back.
Aren't they also trying to say Angel City is their rivals? They
said Gotham and New York. They're trying to piggyback off of New York. Sorry,
Gotham and Angel City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The New York, LA, they're trying to piggyback off of their traditional major sports rivalry.
Sure.
You haven't done a damn thing.
Dude,
you have done nothing.
I saw the Thanos meme where Angel City and Gotham were Thanos, and BOS Nation was Wanda, and was you took everything from me, and they're I don't even know who you are.
It's like they just went to prison and they're trying to pick fights with the biggest people, and they don't know who it's just silly. It's absolutely silly. It's embarrassing too. It's cringy. I'm embarrassed for for some of the fans there.
Have fans said anything about it? Have you seen people from Boston talking?
I mean, they probably criticized it, but let's be honest. You get a professional team, you're gonna roll with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're new to this too. I mean, it was a few years ago we got our first name, and it right away we didn't really take to it. We weren't this is the greatest thing ever. It was different. It was weird, but Kansas City Current is a lot better than BOS Nation FC. Should have just called him BOS Nation. What's wrong with that?
I saw a tweet and somebody's it looked like a 15-year-old came up with it, or a 65 year old group of females came up with it, and they it's just such a bad. I just don't get it, man. It's horrible.
It's not great.
But it's not great.
Be excited to laugh at them for years to come. And do we still have an expansion draft?
Yeah.
Yeah, NWSL. Okay.
Now I don't know what kind of protections they're going to have around it, because it may have changed. But to my knowledge, they still have an expansion draft, which sucks because they don't have an actual draft that we can't college draft. I'm sorry, that we can't trade resources and try and buy protection. I don't know how that's going to work.
It's unfortunate, but okay, cool. What am I missing? Anything else?
Man, I think that's it, man. Let's
I think so.
Get a win here. Jump up to second place, shall we?
Let's get that W on Saturday and get it done. Keep rooting against Washington and Gotham, because they just keep winning, man. And it sure would be nice to knock Gotham down a peg or two before we got to play them next Friday. So
that'd be fun.
As always, everybody, please leave us 5-star ratings and reviews. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Email us, nootherpod@gmail.com. At Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21, at No Other Pod on socials. And don't forget the text line, the old KCSN Mint Mobile hotline. It's 913-407-6524. Send questions, comments, be a part of the show. Let us know what we should be talking about. This is cool. So we're
let us know who you think the toast of the match should have went to.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah. Let us know. Tell us. Give us some.
You could text it in right during the game and be like, if Kayla Sharples does not win toast of the match, I got to text 913-407-6524 right now. one, to let these guys know how handsome they are on YouTube, and two, let them know who the toast of the match is. Be a part of the show. So, anyways, for Chris, I'm Daniel. We'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.